Hi there, sellers! Right now, COVID-19 is certainly becoming such a major factor in the lives of pretty much everyone on Earth. Now, let's get into what has been going on Amazon in terms of sales and demands for different items. What we are trying to do today is to identify some trends in people's spending habits and to see how worthwhile it is to try and respond to these trends. In other words, we will try and figure out which of the shopping habits are probably temporary and will most likely go back to normal when the effects of the virus are in the rear view. On the other hand, we will discuss the possibility of some of those spending habits having long-term effects: medical masks and disinfectants. Obviously, these are the items that pretty much everyone on Earth needs and is using daily right now. It is no surprise that they are some of the most in-demand items on Amazon and in general. You might be wondering if it's a good idea to sell them. The short answer is no. If you were considering selling masks especially, it might have been a good idea months ago. However, even though they are in high demand, there are many problems that come with selling them right now. One of the most important ones being that you cannot advertise on the primary keywords or on the phrases related to the COVID-19. The second one being that you can risk your whole account being banned for price gouging. You might be thinking that price gouging is something only people who intentionally inflate their price to take advantage of people desperately needing them do, but that's not always the case. The prices of manufacturing surgical masks have gone up preposterously, in some factories being 40 times more expensive than before the pandemic. So, some sellers simply adjusted the prices to maintain their margins and got banned. This incredibly high demand for face masks will subside as the pandemic subsides. It is definitely not going to be a long-term trend. Groceries and perishable goods. These type of products have gotten a spike in sales and demand, and it's not difficult to see why. Since it is paramount that at this time we leave our homes as little as possible and to only venture outside when we need basic supplies like groceries and medication, it is no surprise that many people have gotten into the habit of ordering perishable, consumable goods from Amazon. So far, people have been accustomed to buying things like coffee and wine. In fact, one of the highest review count listings you can find all over Amazon is a brand of coffee. Look at the screen. There are a lot of reviews and amazing sales. This profitable product will bring very high revenue. Right now, it's possible that after discovering how easy and reliable it is to order perishable grocery items on Amazon, some degree of people will probably retain some of their shopping habits. In other words, it might not be a bad idea to launch a line of consumable items on Amazon. However, from the perspective of the sellers, there are benefits and downsides to doing that. Since you would be selling something that people are actually going to be putting in their bodies, you need to have the proper paperwork that proves ingesting your product is safe. On top of that, you will have to carefully plan your inventory since perishable items have an expiration date, unlike any other type of product. On the other hand, if you are selling a consumable item, it means that people buy it, consume it, and if they like it, they'll buy it again. Which can be a huge benefit since if you are, for example, selling a toy, what are the odds of the same parent coming back again and buying the same toy or tent or mostly anything? Kitchen and cooking items. For that reason, we have noticed a spike in sales for various kitchen items, maybe most notably for making bread. Here are some items in particular that have gotten a very significant spike in sales: bread yeast, bread makers, and bread baskets. Take a look at the screenshot. Buyers are interested in this niche and buy these products often. This makes sense if you cannot go to the grocery store every day to get fresh bread, you make it yourself. It is quite possible that those new home cooks and home bakers will to some degree keep that habit. This only means that the old home and kitchen category that was always one of the top categories for product ideas will probably be more attractive than ever. Home exercise equipment. People that have a habit of exercising regularly will simply not give it up no matter the circumstances. This is why we've seen a spike in sales for all types of items that help you exercise at home or at least partially give you the benefits of a gym. Let's take a look. Things like yoga mats, dumbbells, benches, exercise bands, jumping ropes have all started selling more and more. Pay attention to the excellent revenue. Sales are growing and people are willing to buy products. Depending on what kind of training you were doing before the pandemic, you could substitute your regimen to a degree. If you were mostly doing cardio like running and swimming, you might find that jumping rope is a very effective workout, the type that you might continue to do in the future. The point that I'm trying to make is that a portion of the people that are working out at home right now might develop a long-term habit of using those types of equipment, and while a large portion of them are simply trying their best to get by until the gyms open back up. In times like that, a good way to save money is to adjust your habits and find ways of doing them more cheaply. This is precisely why the sales of these items might at the very least have a permanent increase in demand in comparison to what it was before the pandemic. Overall, if you are looking for new products and you found some that were selling well before the pandemic and selling well now, odds are you found a good product to sell. The baby category. The baby category has always been an attractive one for private label sellers, and there are many reasons for that. Most importantly, people are not too conservative with their spending when it comes to childcare. On top of that, basically anyone who knows the parents will have to buy baby gifts for baby showers, when the baby is born, and on their birthdays. For example, just look at the screen. The reason there was more demand for baby products since the beginning of the pandemic was very much similar as to why the demand for groceries and similar items has increased. It's easier to buy things on Amazon than it is to go out and shop for them. Also, those items are essential. The baby is going to need diapers and all kinds of other things. Also, babies grow fast and they need clothes, unlike adults that can hold off on clothes shopping. We cannot know for certain how persistent these trends and the demand for the types of products we've discussed so far is. But what if we, for once, did know? This just might be the case with the baby category in the near future. What we know for certain is that a new baby boom is coming. It has happened time and time again when any natural disaster such as a hurricane takes place. Pretty much 9 months later, the maternity wards in the area are filled to capacity. Now imagine what is going to happen when this happens to pretty much the whole world for a few months. We can expect that starting early next year, a lot of babies are going to be coming into the world. A lot more than if the pandemic had not taken place. On top of that, the majority of the new parents are going to be millennials. So we will have an enormous surge in demand for baby products when the parents are going to be a part of a tech-savvy generation that is very much accustomed to doing everything online. If you are looking for your next product, it's not going to get any better than this. So what you need to do is go to the baby category on Amazon, open up your extension and your web app and start browsing and looking at the numbers. You have some time left before the babies start booming, so you can be ready. It would not be a bad idea to look into launching several products if you're able to afford it. Amazon has not been in any way less relevant or less important. In fact, it's quite the opposite. Naturally, the same goes for selling on Amazon. If Amazon has adapted to the situation so well, why can't you follow suit and grow your sales? Good luck, sellers, and stay safe.